Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the JChains Crypto Show. Appreciate you being here, guys. Go ahead and smash the like on your way in. While you fill in, take your seats, smash the likes. Appreciate you all being here. Excited to have a chat today with my guy. Now, Adam, we've talked earlier. You and I talked. It was strange. I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning, and we hopped on a call. I think it was about 4:45, 5 o'clock my time. And this was after you had visited us on Web3 Breakfast. And I'm just absolutely enamored with what you guys are building, what you are building with the Alliance. Absolutely. I'm super excited to learn more about it. And I had put out just a short video before the live stream today, saying, I'd like to find ways to be able to get more involved with it. And hopefully if, somebody at home watching, whether they're in the Cardano ecosystem or not, as far as CNFTs go, you want to get involved and figure out how to participate and collaborate. This is a great session. Plus, we're just going to shoot the shit. We're going to have a good time.
No, of course, man. No, it was like really cool to come onto your space the other day. There was JPEG Junkies, JPEG Empire, which they're called now, and they were taking ownership of the Alliance. Because one thing I'm trying to reiterate to everybody in the Alliance, it's not me. I'm just the crazy guy leading the ship. But it's everybody. You take ownership, because we all want the same thing in the space. We all want to create a really, really welcoming space to onboard new users, and trying to just work together instead of all of this stuff. So it was great, and I actually was in there with the Alliance Twitter, so I popped up and we talked about it, and it was just a nice space. I've also talked to Jarek. He's going to be taking me on some spaces on Polygon and AVAX and to the Chads. Didn't even know about the Chads. It sounds like the original idea of the Alliance, so maybe it grows into something like this, and we can kind of get into exactly what this is. But yeah, it's nice to be here, man.
Absolutely, dude. I'm super excited about this. You great to talk to. And I had just right before we went live, I was doing some thumbnail building today, right, for the show, and I came across some images of you in a former career,
in a past life.
I'll tell you what. So you've been on what is it? Britain's Got Talent, right?
Yeah, Britain's Got. So this is the thing, right? So I started as my career as an ice skater at 17, and I spent 20 years traveling the world as an ice skater, Disney on Ice, Royal Caribbean, Dancing on Ice, loads of different shows. And at 37, it was kind of, I've done it all now. Do I just go back and do it again? And my partner and I, we switched to inline figure skates. This is it's kind of like that. You see the 4 wheels. You see the logo of my project there. That's a proper founder. He's got his logo and a card, poker. So inline figure skates. He's got a stopper at the front. And then we did Poland's Got Talent, Romania's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent. And from Britain's Got Talent, Cirque du Soleil reached out to me and they said, we want you to be in our Christmas show. So I went and did that. And that was the highlight of my career. Imagine achieving a goal that you never even had, because I was an ice skater. I would never thought I would go and be in a circus. So that was pretty cool. And that was Vegas during the pandemic.
Okay, so we've all seen this show. We've all seen the people do this. You are literally on rollerblades, probably spinning in circles, hanging onto a woman who is got your life in her hands, inches away from the
It's not real. It's all fake. It's all fake. It's not real. I'm not actually there. Those people are real.
The people with the masks are real, yeah.
It's all fake. Now, dude, what was crazy for me? The pandemic, it was one of the worst things that has ever happened in my life. But I spent it in Vegas. I went to Vegas to audition for Absinthe, and the pandemic hit, and I spent 4 months training every day like a madman. I mean, people that have seen me working on the Alliance now, 19 hours a day, back to back to back. I was training 2 or 3 hours a day, and that's a lot to do what I was doing in I was going to say a caravan, in a garage, to eventually audition for this show. But they never opened. And at one point, we're like, should we go to the strip? And we went to the strip and there was no one there. So we spent days and days just doing tricks and tricks everywhere. And I made this 18-minute video and then edited it down to about 5 minutes. It took me like 100 hours of editing. I'd like do it and then do it and do it. But now I've got this amazing video of an empty Vegas, nobody there. So it's a once in a lifetime video. I'd rather have that than have gone there and been doing like 3 shows every day. Because here's the thing with shows, right? You could be doing like a show that nobody cares about, or you could be doing Cirque du Soleil. The work is the work. The best part is announcing to people, oh my God, I'm in Cirque du Soleil. But then when you go to work and you've got to do the work, it's just like any other show. You just think it is something amazing. But it's cool. It's cool. It's cool for the family and stuff. But to look back on, it's cool. But when you're doing it, it's just another grind. It's just work, you know. But
yeah, it's cool. But I mean, that's a little bit, you know, you got some people do different things, right? And that is really cool to just, you know, look at that image, watching you, knowing that, you know, you've got someone who's trusted you to spin them in circles while you're on rollerblades. Dude, that to me was pretty cool when I saw that. I didn't know that after, you know, the first time we talked. But all right, let's talk about what you guys are doing with the Alliance, right? What was really your idea for wanting to build that, you know, and on a higher level than just, you know, collaboration and maybe seeing a need there? Does that come from, you know, some other fulfillment obligation that you would feel inside to, you know, really to facilitate relationships like that?
Yeah. So the thing is, for me, I've spent my whole life with no friends, so I just wanted to build some friends. No, I'm just messing.
All right.
We're gonna have some jokes. We're gonna have some jokes. So here's the thing, right? So last year was a tough time for most projects, right? You ended up on your island, and you kind of, your community was just kind of, they disappeared. They held their NFTs, and we were running our free rolls all the time, but we weren't doing any collaborations with other projects. And then I kind of reinvented my project. We went from 7 collections into brand new art, which is, I'm really proud of the art. The artist did amazing. Then we came, as we're coming up to our mint, because there was no whitelists or anything like this, because we were doing an exchange of 18,000 NFTs into 5,500, and then we had a public. So I thought, you know what I'll do for promotion? I'll reach out to loads of projects and we'll do a multi-project tournament together. And this will bring eyes on our project. And that was kind of the marketing idea. And I went to bed that evening and I thought, that was so cool to be talking with founders and talking with other community members and just seeing a bit of life. So the next day I talked with Future and I talked with Thor, I think, and a few people. I'm like, we should do like a CNFT alliance. We should create all of these people from the free rolls and all of these, because we run 16 free rolls a week and we had 20 partners that we could use that who play them. I'm like, let's reach to them and see if they want to create some sort of a CNFT alliance, and then we can kind of build from this. But just a Discord with founders, and we can talk about ways to kind of work together, improve the space, and, you know, just that was kind of the idea. Right. We did a mission statement. We reached out to them. Everyone loved the idea, and we kind of put a pin in it. I'm like, okay, let's get through the mint, and then in January we'll come back to it and we'll see. You know, we'll see what we can do. So our mint didn't go as planned. You know, we only sold 500 for actual ADA because all the others were 5 NFTs exchange with 2 ADA. So we didn't really bring much funds in, and maybe I'd marketed it incorrectly, which is, you know, down to me. The thing is that something I always say, if something doesn't go wrong, it's the person at the top, it's their fault. You can never blame someone else. Like, there was no one else to blame. Like, I probably messed up, and it's okay. We'll pause the mint and we will deliver in January. We'll talk about Pugs later, but we'll deliver in January. Then we can reopen the mint when we've got awareness. And we were sitting one day, like 4 weeks ago, literally 4 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, we need a way to get the people playing the free rolls. And it was like, oh, let's just start the CNFT Alliance. Let's just start it. So we made the Discord and we started building the channels, and then we made the X account. And I'm like, we talked about maybe it should be the Alliance, because then that's open to any chain, tokens, stake pool operators, anybody. There's no like, oh, you have to be a Cardano NFT project or etc. Right. A few days later, we've already got 100 projects in there, and we've been having conversations after conversation, and we're like, okay, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. So we went from a Discord of just founders to, okay, we can actually have a community here. We can grow a massive community. This can be like the town hall of NFTs and crypto and different things. And then all the Discords are your home. So you go into the town to meet people. You go out on the night out. You just come to our Discord to have fun. And on the Friday, so let's talk about 3Look for a second. So 3Look is an Ethereum-based meme creation platform powered by ApeCoin. And I joined like 6 weeks ago. And on Friday, they said, okay, the Cardano implementation has gone live. And this was, we're like the first Cardano NFT project on there, Space Pugs. You basically go there, you put your serial of your pug in, and then you can make a meme in seconds. And I told them what we're doing with the Alliance, and they're like, let's jump on a call. And we made a partnership. And it was at that point I realized, oh, this is what it can grow into. It can grow into a business. Here's a way to generate revenue. We onboard platforms to basically service and sell their products, which people would want to use. I'm only ever going to bring people in that I would want to use myself for my project. So if it's not something I particularly would want to use, then probably no one else will use it either. But they provide a discount, like with 3Look, it's more than 50% off of what I paid that the projects are getting it for. And then we get a small percentage back to the Alliance. So if you go forward 4, 5, 6, 7 months, when we've gone from 200 projects to 600 projects and 30 partners to 200 partners, this will be a legitimate business, and this will generate revenue. And I will never take a penny. I do not want to take money from this. You could think of it as a non-profit or however it is. When we do have staff, then they will get paid because we'll generate revenue and moderators, etc. But one of the big things we want to do is in real life events. When we generate revenue, we'll put on in real life events around the world because it can grow really big. Because if everybody wins here, and I'm going to stop talking because if I don't, I will talk forever.
Yeah, man, I love it. So the live events thing, the in real life events thing, I think that's massive, and I wish that more projects or more communities really realize the power of that. Right? I mean, you've got some really strong communities. Like the Pigeons in New York. That's an Ethereum-based project. They do a lot of stuff. I think they're going to be, they did something for the Super Bowl. They're going to be doing something for NFT NYC. We were down in Miami with them, and what else was whatever. You've got these collections that just get out and they bring people together, physically in real life. And I think that's really where this should all be going. I run a show, right? Like Web3 Breakfast. We don't have an NFT. I don't have we don't have a NFT, right? So it's a community of just people. But that's something that even we try to do everywhere we go. Anytime, like going down to Mexico next week for the karate combat fight. Like I'm trying to find, the ability to host a pizza party because that's something I do every Friday. And when we're out and about at a conference or whatever, if there's a Friday involved, we're always throwing a pizza party, always. And so why the fuck not do it in Mexico? I mean, that'll be a great time. I found a great place, by the way, in Mexico City. If anyone knows, real quick, it's called Pizza del Perro Negro. So black dog pizza. It's a little pug with 3
That's some good accent you got there, man. That is some good accent. Do you speak Spanish?
So I was very good at kitchen Spanish. I was a chef for most of my life. That's where I got my all come up was at restaurants when working in the kitchen and stuff.
No, that's amazing. Yeah, that's cool.
But so great. You got to keep me posted on any in real life events that you guys are going to be doing moving forward. You keep me posted on that, man. I would definitely love to.
What was crazy was, so one of our first partners, Introverse, I don't know if you know of Introverse. They're from, I think there's a few different chains, Polygon, Wax, and there's one of I just always forget what it is. But basically the deal that they've done for us, and this came because of someone else, Akshar, Indian Professional Boxing League, reached out to his friend and said, you need to get in touch with Adam because they've been trying to get onto Cardano, but they didn't know where to start. And then people can just come to me, and then I'm like, okay, we've got developers and we've got projects. And so basically you pay $200, they'll create a 3D avatar for you, which I think ours is ready tomorrow. And then this goes into the game, and then it's like a street fighting type of fighting game, but the quality of the graphics are insane. This must have cost a lot of money to build, and they've got I don't know how many projects, 40, 50, a lot of projects on there, and 1,400 people that are playing a lot. They're going to have an NFT fest in Lugano in Switzerland, and the first 15 projects that sign up and pay $200 to have all of this amazing get to go for free. There's going to be a booth there. We'll have our own booth. It's part of the deal that I kind of secured for everybody. But if people don't sign up for it, then they're missing out. You know, it's like everything. Sometimes people see things and they think about it and then they forget about it. Because I do it all the time. I forget stuff and I'm like, oh God, I forgot all about that. Because there's so many things going on. So there's amazing things coming up, and I'm just thankful for Mortis, because he's been really good to work with. And tomorrow, have you ever heard of a multi-Discord Rumble? I've never heard of that.
No.
Tomorrow, starting at 5 p.m. UTC, it starts in Introverse, then it's going to go to Space Pugs, then the Alliance, and then there's about 10 more projects, and they're doing this over 2 days. So you literally go to one Discord, you do a rumble, and whoever wins, then they will get a prize. And each project had to give a prize. So in ours, there's like a 50,000 or 25,000 pug chip. It's worth like 180 ADA, and there's something in the Alliance. But it's a good opportunity to onboard new people to your Discord. Because if you set your chat up right, if there's people in there, you've got GIFs, you've got something fun going in there, people may be like, oh, I'll come back and check this Discord out. This looks pretty cool. You know, so by signing up for these projects, opportunities are going to come to you. And I always say, if you don't actually step forward, you will never know what's going to be there. If you sit back and you wait for things to happen, it doesn't happen. So the people that do step forward, Greedy Goblins have stepped forward, we've stepped forward. We're the only 2 projects that have actually signed up for it out of 180 projects. Just 2, or basically 1, because I kind of get it by omission. What is going on?
Whoa!
What was that?
Super cool, man. How did you make that happen?
I have no idea. What was that? I don't know. That's too funny. But yeah, so dude, I can't wait to play the game. We were watching it yesterday. We Bored Ape Yacht Club play, and I'm like, I want to go play some Bored Ape. He goes, I want to kick some ass, because the pug that's in there is mine. Because we already had a full length pug. Because I had this idea for marketing to get my artists to create full life pugs that we can then use in playing poker or in the gym. And then we made a diamond hands one, so for everyone that never lists a pug has a chance to win a diamond hand pug. The most pug chips you earn from our NFTs is 35 per day. A diamond hand earns 500 per day. Oh, it's wow. It's insane staking. So and I just don't stake my pugs, and then it pays for it. Otherwise, we'll run out. So it's like I don't mind. I don't need pug chips. I just need them to play poker. I'll win them from other people anyway. So
so talk to me about the passion for poker, because I know, and we're just gonna kind of have just a melting pot conversation here, which is fine. And with the pugs, like the mission behind it is, I think the 2 pillars are personal training and poker. Where does your passion for poker come in? Where have you ever played professionally? Is it just something that you enjoy, or that the community loves? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so probably I was about 24, and I went one day with a friend on a Sunday afternoon game, probably like $5 to play, and I was just hooked straight away. I loved it. I'd done what everyone has done. They've gone and like lost a bunch of money on blackjack and roulette and all that stuff, and you get burned, and you're like, no, it's not for me. And then when I found a game where it's about skill, and it's about being a bit crafty, and it's about, I'm like, this is me. This is me. Because I'm not saying I'm crafty, but I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm super intelligent, like going to university, but I'm intelligent in different ways. So
street smart. We call that street smart. There's book smart and street smart. So you gotta be street smart.
Yeah, I mean, people would say I'd be a good criminal, or I'd be a good policeman, because I understand how criminals think, type of thing. So it was just perfect for me, because I love pressure. The more pressure, the better. Like when I would go and do these big TV shows, Britain's Got Talent and stuff, before I would go on, I would say, you perform under the most amount of pressure. Because doing the semi-final, 10 million people live, it was horrible. I enjoyed it, but it was horrible. I just wanted to get to the end and not trip over my feet, because I didn't even know where they were. I couldn't feel them. So then when I play poker, I would love it. And I'd love to try to look in people's eyes and try to, to stress them out. So I just started playing every week, and then I would go on tour, and we'd be playing in between numbers in the show. We'd be playing, and then it's just something I always did. And then like last year, I was playing almost every day. And
nice.
A couple of years ago, when we brought poker into the project, and then we decided we'd build our own poker platform, we just played a lot more poker. And then through the bear market for 16 months, we had 16 free rolls every single day. Not every day, every week, every day. That would be sick. I mean, so like basically 10 a.m., 7 p.m., 1 a.m. every day. I've got two card room managers that run the games for me. What is this going on? So, so poker's kind of been our thing. And our rake-free poker platform has just come out a few days ago. Still a few small little bugs here and there, but nothing major. So I haven't heavily promoted it yet. We're just kind of waiting for those to get worked out, and then that's going to be something for Cardano, which will be amazing.
Man,
and
that's
then
cool.
Then the personal training. So I've been a personal trainer for a few years. Through the pandemic, when I was in Vegas, I developed a personal training course, but instead of it, because people couldn't go to the gym, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to run a class every single day for you. So we'll do 6 classes a week. You'll have 1 day off. There'll be like 1 day is like lower body strength, and there's upper body strength, and there's like, I called it fat stripper abs, but it's more like a stripper that's fat instead of stripping the fat, you know. So I would just be doing this like stupid dances. But there's one of the founders of TKF Fishbowlian. He's actually doing my classes, and then he's clipping them and putting them on Twitter. I was like, can I post this? I'm like, yeah, I look like an idiot. I'm like, I don't care. I'm just normal. Let's just have fun. If you can't laugh at yourself, then what are we doing here, right? You know, people take this too seriously, and a lot of people always feel like I would be a person to take myself seriously, and then they see these videos and they're like, you're so different than what I expected. I'm like, well, I have to be serious when I'm doing certain things, but I can wear any hat wherever I am. You know, it's like, it doesn't matter. You know, that's kind of how I am. So anyway, I ran these classes.
You're a showman. You're right. You're an entertainer.
Exactly, you know, and I developed something called the Level Up. So I had all these different levels. Someone was like super fit and someone was just starting. So I'm like, okay, this is based on 60 seconds. If you're level 1, you work for 15 seconds, then you get 45 seconds break. If you're level 2, you work for 30 and 30. And if you're level 3, you do 45 seconds work and 15 seconds break. So, and I would just be calling out, okay, level 2 stop or level 3 stop. And then the last day we do level up ultimate, and then it was we had level 4. So you do the whole class if you're level 4, which I would have to do, and you just don't break. You go one exercise, which is like a normal aerobic kind of thing where they don't stop. But I would do it. It's more intense because of the workouts. So I filmed all these. The last 6 weeks I filmed them, and they just sat unlisted since the pandemic. They sat there. Just like 2 years ago, I filmed all of the how-to videos for a gym, like Scott Herman Fitness, if you remember those videos, Athlete X. They've just been sitting there. And then when I was thinking, I'm like, maybe because I went through a transition a few months ago. Like last year was a big transition. I went through a breakup. I went through a horrible year. And then I reinvented the project. But just as I reinvented the project, I also went from almost 100 kilos down to 80 kilos. I lost like 45 pounds because I just let myself go. I stopped training. I stopped skating. I stopped everything. So I got back into shape because I wanted to do some jobs. And then I had a lot of people reaching out to me. Oh, I'd love to work with you, because I'd stopped personal training. I thought, what if I do this in the project? So the original idea was based on the amount of NFTs that you hold would be the discount. And then I ended up just thinking, you know what? Let's just do it for free. Free personal training. I mean, who's in free personal training? You get people, okay, do you want to do your first 10K month, your first $100,000 month, charging people for personal training? I'm like, no, we'll just do it free. You get an application, Kahunas, you've got your workouts on there, you've got your recipes. It's called Exceed Nutrition. I don't know, it's what else I talked to you yesterday. I rebranded. You buy them, you brand them with your logos, and then people normally sell them. I just give them all. You buy an NFT, you get them all, and then we've got 6 weeks of classes, and and what I'm running at the moment, anyone that signed up in January, whoever does the best transformation in the first 3 months can create something called a super custom V2. So our customs at the moment, you buy 5 V2s, and then you can burn it and create a new one from the trait. So the floor is like 300 ADA at the moment. So a custom, the floor would be 1500 ADA minimum, but then they come with a lot of benefits. A super custom, you can have anything. You could literally have anything. You could be like, you know what? Can I have a pug? Can I have it the same as my clothes? Can I have it like my wall behind me? You could have that. You can do whatever you want. You'll work with our artist. Like, I want the eyes to be like having lasers coming this way. Like dolphin. Whatever you want, we'll create it. And these will be very, very rare, a super custom. So that's what the best transformation gets. So you get it by working out and transforming your body, whether that is going from being really thin and getting into good shape or losing a lot of weight. So that's kind of the goodness. We try to do a lot of good in the project instead of it just being about making money and playing poker. We're doing good as well. And
See,
you know,
that's
it's
that you got to really think, when you start, and we're talking to, there's a project that, some people in the community know, it's called the Lazy Apes. And, they do a big trait group thing, right? And these trait groups, they go off and, maybe start businesses or whatever. They're like like-minded people with the same trait, right?
yeah.
So you've got, that aspect of what Web3 offers. I mean, you're talking about, this utility where you buy an NFT and now you've got, personal training. I know some NFT collections where you get some mental health benefits, where you might, get to, do some telemedicine, with a psychiatrist, or, whatever it happens to be. I mean, think about, there's really no other ecosystems in the world that offer you those kind of, we say utility. Utility is probably a terrible word to use for that, but that where, you are making an investment, you are a customer.
Exactly. Imagine you go to your local gym. Okay, you sign up. It's going to be $100, and in 6 months' time, we're going to give you $1,000 back. Do you want to do it? That's literally what we're doing, because you pay now what, 300 ADA. I mean, guaranteed the project will be 3,000 or 10,000, whatever it is in the future, just because I know the project and I know what I'm doing. Like my project, there is no project like it, because no project has that many burning mechanisms for the token, for the NFTs, the customs. We've already burned almost 800 in the first 6 weeks from a 5,500 collection. Where are we in a year's time? There's only 74 listed. It's the floors are starting to go up. Now with the Alliance, a lot of the founders understand what's happening here. It's like, I'm literally trying to help everybody, and they're like, we support you, we'll pick up a pug, we'll support you. And it's been amazing to see. And I think it's just going to happen more and more and more, and we get more awareness coming on a show like this, and then people look into the project, and then they hear about our flywheel staking, which is something I've seen on Ethereum from a project there, and I'm like, I'm going to bring this to Cardano, and this is cool. Imagine this. So you take your liquidity tokens, you stake them for a month, and then I will pay you in ADA. You stake tokens, you get paid in ADA, because we will be investing with a team of investors, and then all the reward, all the profit will go to people staking the liquidity tokens. But how do you get liquidity tokens? You have to buy the token. So you have to first buy our token, then you have to put it into the. I don't know why I do this. I don't know why I do these things.
I know, because it's the visual, so people can understand. You got to put it in the liquidity pool.
You buy the token, and then you got the ADA, and then you put it into the liquidity, and then you put those over here, and then we give you ADA. But then you're not taking them out. Then you're going to take that ADA, you're going to split it, you're going to buy more tokens. We only have 47 million tokens. The market cap is only 100,000 market cap. It's nothing, because we're no one's paying attention to Pugs, not yet. So whilst this is happening, we give 100% of our royalties away. We don't keep them. 100%. So already this month, our monthly raffle is almost already 1,800 ADA.
How is it? Is it
40% goes to the raffle? Yeah, 40% goes to the monthly raffle. 30% buys the token and burns it. 30% buys the NFTs and burns it. But when our collection comes down to about 4,000, then we will change that, and we'll do 50% for the monthly raffle and 50% for the token. We will always have a burning mechanism buying the token. So when the floors in the bull market, when they're 10, 20, 30, 50,000 ADA, the amount of royalties that are coming in, then just always buying the token and burning it. This is why the market cap will be ridiculous in the future. Meanwhile, our poker platform, the transaction fees will do the same thing. If we don't need to take money into the project, we won't take it. Imagine all the transaction fees, 50% for the monthly raffle, 50% buying the token. And when you create a custom NFT, you need to give us 50% of the floor of the V2. So now it would cost you 5 V2 and 158 of our token, and then we burn the token. Any chance I ever have of creating a burning mechanism for the token of the NFTs, I do it, because that is the future. The old way of projects is that, okay, you get whitelisted into our second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th collection. Before you know it, you've got 1 million NFTs and they're all worth 10 ADA. This way is one collection, and we burn it to the ground. Burn it as fast as possible, so the people that believed in me before we were something will become multi-millionaires. I own 262 of them. Once we hit 3,200 ADA floor, I'm a millionaire. I've got 1 million ADA. I believe in myself so much that I've been buying them, because if that doesn't tell you anything, imagine you went to Elon Musk. Do you have any shares in Amazon? Not Amazon, in
Tesla.
Tesla, and you're like, no, I don't own any. Why? Why do you not own them? Imagine someone that didn't own shares in their own company. Now think the other way. Imagine if the biggest holder in a project is the founder. I've got the most to lose and the most to win by being successful or losing. If that doesn't tell you everything, if 1.8% listed doesn't tell you everything, if me putting everybody else on with the Alliance and working with everyone doesn't tell you everything about who I am, then I don't know. So all I'm saying is that let's work together, let's win together, and let's talk more about the Alliance. I don't want to shield my project. I love talking about it.
No, it's cool.
Talking about the Alliance.
It's important. You've got some things going on, and it is important. Plus, I know that a lot of people like the art. It is very cool. That what you got behind you is very cool. All right, so the Alliance. Take someone like me, for example. I'm just a community member. I'm a Web3 advocate. I'm passionate about collaboration. How does someone that isn't a founder get involved? Is it literally just as easy as hopping in the Discord and just being in the community and see where it leads?
Yeah, so exactly. So we've got something for the project founders, and now imagine you're just a regular community member. Doesn't matter. You don't need an NFT to come in there. You just come inside, and imagine you are brand new to crypto. You never touched crypto. Someone's shown you our QR code that was made by QR Dano, one of our partners, and it's took you to the website. You've read about the onboarding. You've set up a wallet. You've gone to our hub, a GitHub that I created, and you've learned all about what DeFi is, what wallets are. You understand everything. You come into the Discord, and then you're talking to us, and you're like, okay, so what is this project, and how does this work? And we say, okay, well, this is some of the benefits of the Alliance. Here's the utility that we're providing for other projects. If you own this NFT or this NFT or this NFT, these are just 9 ADA and 10 ADA. You'll get 7 extra entries to all of our giveaways that we have in here. So then because we're obviously going to have a lot of giveaways as this community grows, and we've got hundreds of projects, they come to me and I run giveaways for them. And then the community members can start to collect all of the different NFT projects. So instead of it just being, okay, just buy Space Pugs and just be my hold, I'm like, no, buy all the other projects. They're 9 ADA. That one took ours is 300. So it's only got 10 entries. There's only 10 entries for a Space Pug, and it's 300. Or you could go and buy this project, this, they're 9, 10. So I'm like, go and buy those, support the smaller projects that are coming up that need the support, because that's what we want people to do. And then they get all of these extra entries, and then you can play the rumbles, and then they could win a rumble, and then they can pick any project to have their policy ID added to the Discord to get the entries. And then we've got something called GFi, which is like a gamified engagement bot, where when you engage on the tweets that come into the Discord, you get points. And when you get a certain amount of points, then you can buy a new role with extra entries, or you can buy a raffle ticket to something that we're running. So in Space Pugs, we have enough Space Pugs for 2 years of one giveaway every week, and then 2 that go into the monthly raffle, and then some extras for different things. But this is something we realized today when we started to think, like, what happens when the floors are 20,000 ADA and we're giving one away every week? It's just, which we've got enough, the raffles are going to get insane, So back into the Alliance, we did one for PugChip the other day, but I'm looking at ways for other projects to port their points into the Alliance. I've talked to GFi. I'm like, is there a way that we can do this in the bot? He's like, let me work on it. I said, for now, I can just from Pugs. I'm like, if you want to take some of your points and put them in the Alliance, I'll delete them here and I'll put them here because I have access to both. But I can't do it for anyone else yet. But we're just trying to have fun in there. Running games. We're going to have a gaming schedule. We've got 16 free rolls a week in the Alliance, because I brought my free rolls into the Alliance for everybody to use. And then we've got a partner project, a partner program. So if a project wants to have their token, wants to be able to use their token to rebuy into our free rolls, or to enter something called a multi-stack tournament, it's a free roll with 25,000 starting start. But if you want 50, 75, or 100,000 to start the tournament, you can pay with tokens. So we've got 4 projects that have already signed up for that, and they just have to give some prizes to our monthly raffle, like 100 ADA. But they also get the policy ID added to the Discord, so they're getting 2 utilities, and then I'm gaining from 100 ADA extra into a monthly raffle, which is good for my holders. It's good for the people playing the free roll, because the prizes on the free rolls, the entries and extra entries to the free roll, and then points for GFi. So I've used all the points and the entries kind of as prizes, because if it's giving NFTs every day, they're going to be like, they're not going to be worth much. or it's just going to cost a lot of money, which is hard when going through the bear market. I had to kind of figure out a new way to do it. So yeah, and then it's just loads of different communities. When you see different communities mixing together, as opposed to you're in Pugs and it's pretty much everyone's a pug, and you come in the Alliance, and to be fair, there's actually more Pugs actually in there now because there's more people buying Pugs, and then a lot of my communities in there. But I see all these different PFPs, and it's really cool. It's just really nice to see.
I love that, man. I need to get back into more of what's happening. You know, knowing that we were going to be talking about this and really thinking about the Cardano ecosystem with the NFTs. You know, I've got a few. I think it's, you know, I I don't want to say that I've abandoned my NFT time for coins right now, but sort of, right? Because that's where the attention, you know, that's where the attention seems to be. Where do you see? Because this was really, you know, the NFT's first bear market, right? Somewhat. Where do you see NFTs kind of fitting into the intention span of, I would say, the average crypto investor, knowing, and I think the one thing that NFT, the we'll say Web3 versus crypto, right? The one thing that the Web3 side has is that it's going to be predominantly retail investors that are in NFTs, whereas you've got for now, until RWAs and all that stuff is bigger. But whereas, you know, in the crypto space, the bull run is going to be largely fueled from institutional money. But all of that being aside, you know, how do you think the flow of bull run into NFTs is going to look? You know, especially in an ecosystem like Cardano, knowing that potentially Cardano, and I don't know if you know want to talk coin price or whatever, but you know, knowing that, you know, Cardano itself might not get to the level that a lot of us expected in this bull run, knowing that 2028 is really going to be the time to shine for Cardano. But you know, really, people at some point are going to start pulling profits and shifting things over to the NFT ecosystem. How do you see that shaping out?
Oh, it's hard to see, really, you know, because with what we're building in the Alliance, I think this is going to have such a shift of what it could have been like. Like I try to imagine now if we didn't start this and we're all just separated. Like there's so many conversations that are happening, and I think this is really going to fuel like onboarding to Cardano and maybe just onboarding in general, because maybe some people come into here and then they learn about other chains. Because when I go and talk with the chads and I talk with other people and this, it's just gonna all change, I think, because there's going to be too much life happening in this Discord and then in this Discord. So people will come in and they're going to find out about different projects. And I think some of the projects that are really going to shine is ones that actually have a foot in Web 2. Like for mine, on the back of my T-shirt, it says, "Ask me about free online personal training." It should be, "Ask me about getting paid for personal training." But if you have a foot in Web 2, then you've got a way to onboard people easier, because there's going to come a point where it's suddenly on TV, right? It's almost when you hear about it on TV, it's too late. But in the next few months, people are going to start asking about it, and then you're going to be talking about it, and then you kind of onboard them. And I think there's going to be a lot of gaming. This is what a lot of people are saying, like gaming is going to be the next boom. I'm not a big gamer, but there's some games that I do see. I'm like, that kind of looks like fun. You know, sometimes the simple games are fun. You know, the simple games, but it's the big games that look fun. So I don't know. I think I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful with what we're building here, because I can see how it can grow when you work together as opposed to work against each other. I'm just curious if all of the bigger projects end up coming in, or they stay out. So if we get to 250 projects, 3,000 members, and then I'm talking across chain and it starts to grow, does it get to a point where they all feel like we kind of have to join, otherwise we're on the outskirts? Because one of the great things that we'll do in here is I'll be trying to not advise, because I don't want to tell people what to do. It's like, this is what I do. I don't run giveaways for projects that are not doxed or have not been in the space for a while, and I would trust them, because I need to protect my holders. And say you own a project and you just run giveaways for anyone, my holders are also in your project, and now you're not protecting my holders. Then me and you will start to have a problem. Not like this or anything. It's just that if they got rugged, I'd be like, why do you know?
Dude, why do you have to do that to people?
Yeah, they don't need the whitelist. Your projects, we don't need it. Like in the Alliance, we're going to have like so many opportunities. But there's so many people that I would never expected them just from your perception of a project, and they're like, oh, how do I get doxed? I'm like, oh, really? You see it, it's like a meme coin. They're like, how do I get doxed? I'm like, oh, that's cool. You go over here, it's 50% off. They're like, oh, cool, 50% off. I'm like, yeah, that's like TED Nation. Let's talk about TED Nation for a second. Doing an amazing job. They were one of the first partners, and he's like, I'll offer 50% off. I wish I could go back and just say to him, like, dude, just offer like 50 ADA off. You don't have to offer 50% off. You're the only person that's doing it. You're the only game in town. You could be like, it's 1,000 ADA and it's 200 ADA. 200 ADA to get people doxed. Now, in the future, that might be like $1,000. But right now, it's like $100 or maybe $60. So it's, I don't know. I go from thing to thing. I'll just keep going. I'll just, my ideas, it just goes everywhere because my brain. That's how my brain works. It's hard to kind of follow me, I think, sometimes.
But no, I don't. I don't have a hard time following because I have terrible ADD. It's my superpower. But it helps me understand like what you're saying because I jump around a lot. So that's how my brain connects things. So one of the things, like, kind of the whole idea of the Alliance and why, I was just talking about the NFT ecosystem versus the cryptos ecosystem is I wish that there was something built like this, that the people and the communities and the founders who cared, when the blockchain ecosystem first came and started, really had the mindset like what you've put together and thought like there's really a need for it because the collaboration is not there. We know that. It's very tribal. Extremely tribal in the crypto space, and there's a little bit of that here in Web3. But knowing that what you're building here with the Alliance, again, I'm all for this, and I think that this is something that our industry needs very bad. And I love the idea of trying to make sure that it is multi-chain as well, and anything that we can do, myself and people in our community that we can do to help facilitate and make sure that it becomes more multi-chain. I think that's what's going to end up winning the day. Because again, think about all of the great minds that come together. I mean, you and I were talking about before we went live, the fact of just being in all these conversations, talking about all of this stuff with founders has sparked so many new ideas in your own mind. Just think about now, if we get thousands of, really, really bright people together in one place, and the churning and burning of ideas that really could facilitate growth in our ecosystem it's I think unparalleled.
Yeah, you know what's funny? What I was just thinking about then. So we're like, oh, cross chain. No, it's literally one button down. Imagine you've got a Cardano Alliance, Ethereum Alliance, AVAX, Polygon. It's literally you go like that, and you're in a different Discord. It's a Discord, isn't it? It's not like you're not traveling anywhere. I'm not getting into a spaceship and going cross chain. It's literally just a different Discord. That's what it is. We make it sound like it's like, I mean, I used to think, okay, Discord is like a metaverse. You go from one room, you go into the next room. This is almost like a metaverse that we've got now, as opposed you're not going into it, and it's like, I don't know if you could do super cross chain in one, because we've already used 260 channels. You only get 500. We've used 114 roles. You only get 250. We're 4 weeks in. We're trying to figure out how to change these channels because you get 1,000 threads. So maybe we change them and do something else. Or working with a platform like Do Your Own Box, where they're going to have all the platforms on there. Maybe everything doesn't live in the Discord. Maybe you just, because now I've taken a lot of the stuff out and put it onto our hub. We used to have all of the best practices, which is basically, imagine you buy a book of someone's life and you can learn about their life and you just learn 60 years. Well, I've got a best practices, which basically like it's about 50 points of my 2 years in the space. This is my experience. This is what to do. This is not what to do. This is, you should have your main wallets. Then you should have your minting wallet, which is basically empty. And you just send the AD you need there, and then you mint, and it's faster. Then you've got your buy and your sell wallet, or a buy and a sell wallet. So you can be doing different things. Just things that people, when they come in, they don't know. Or for a founder, make sure that you have an alt account, you transfer ownership to that account, and you don't use it. So if you get compromised, they cannot take your Discord because you do not have the ownership. This is something that people wouldn't even think about.
Oh, that's smart.
You may not have thought about either. And here's the best tip for anyone. I just learned this a week ago. Here's a tip for founders, right? Because most people they don't want to start the reactions in the Discord. They don't want to be the first person to do it. I've always done it because then there's more engagement from my holders. Because I'll go into a Discord and there's like the first 3 are done and a couple of people have pressed them. If you hold down shift, if you open the box for reactions and you hold down shift, the box stays open. You can just go ding, 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 and it takes a few seconds. Shout out to Kiwi Cow. You have saved me so much time, but where were you 6 months ago? Where were you? Where were you? You know, but we're learning these just tips, little tips, or safety, or wallets, or just having conversations. Is there anything better than just having conversations? Actually seeing people. This is what I've loved. Like all these calls, I keep telling everyone, book a call with me. Even if you don't want to partner, book a call so I know your project. If I can start to learn every single, imagine in a few months' time, I understand 300-400 projects. I understand how they work. One, I'm gaining all the information that I can then put together and I could use for myself, or I can give the information to someone else, or I can put them together. Like when we got 6 or 7 or 10 different mining projects, I'm like, guys, work together. When you mint, decide how much money you want to spend, and then you can buy it for much cheaper and you'll get more. And then or actually work together. Instead of having 10 people doing the same thing, why don't you work together? Maybe you actually create a new project. You both got ideas, put them together. You know, I'm going to be working directly with a lot of projects. There's a lot of things that I haven't told people yet, but there's something coming out very, very soon. It's that there's a lot of exciting things. I just look at we've got 20 partners, and then there's another 14 that have not been announced. 14 big projects that it's some of the partnerships. I have a call and then they figure it out. We have another call, we figure it out, and then we announce it. But it's like, and we're just 4 weeks old, dude. 4 weeks. Can you imagine?
Think about where you're going to be. Think about where you're going to be next year. That's
how many people will be able to onboard, like gamified onboarding. If we figure out this gamified onboarding, you'll have people running around the streets, like onboarding them because they're going to earn something. As soon as you incentivize them, then they play ball. If you don't incentivize them, they're like, why?
Especially with because it's new and it's scary. You know, you have to incentivize. It's the tokenization and the monetization through incentivizing. That's the name of the game. That is the name of the game. Well, Adam, I appreciate you, man. I know today was a day. You had a long day, so did I. I appreciate you fitting this one in. Definitely want to make sure I will be joining the Discord. I'll get a link posted. I will get a link down in the description of this video. As soon as I get back home later today, I'll add it in there, so it will be for anybody watching the replay, and then we'll tweet it out and make sure people know where to find you and where to get in there, because that's going to be massive for the growth of where we got going on. You got any final notes, final thoughts on the day before we head on out of here?
I do. This is for every single person in life. You get out what you put in. If you want to gain a lot, you have to give a lot first. This goes with anything. If this is just you want to grow your personal brand, help other people grow first, and then they will help you grow. If you want to get more out of the Alliance, be present, help people, talk to me, get in the conversation, because then you don't come in for a few days and then you'll suddenly see something that was announced and you had 3 days to do it. I can't DM everybody. I started DMing people the other day. I'm like, what am I doing? This was the whole point of the Alliance, so I don't have to do that. I'm not going to chase everybody. I'm going to be here in the Alliance. Come find me. We'll have a conversation, book a call, and let's work together, and let's grow together, and let's win together, and let's keep the space safe.
I freaking love that, man. Well, I appreciate you. Thanks for chatting with me. I'll be in the Discord very soon, and we'll be catching up with you. I know we'll have you back on, and there's got to be a way for us to facilitate doing some kind of collaboration where we get anybody in the Alliance, founders from other chains that aren't, and we can get them in. We'll do some like mega space.
No, dude. I'll bring some of the big personalities. Little Thunder just comes to mind straight away from Bank, like amazing guy. He was actually shouting me out today. So if I'll get maybe like 2 or 3 of the big hitters here, that like big personalities, they've got a lot to say and are very eloquent in the way they talk. And you bring a few from yours, and we just 10, 12 people in a space, like just shooting the ideas back and this is how we do it and this things, and just like see what we can make. Like that I think that could be like a really good space.
We'll get some big personalities from Cardano, Solana, Ethereum, VeChain, AVAX, and Algorand. Maybe let's have and Hedera. Who knows? We'll see what we can do.
If you can do that, then let's do it.
I'll start putting that together, man, and I'll cue you in as soon as I got more information. But I appreciate everybody watching this, Paul. Thank you for your time. Sorry, Adam.
Sorry, it's all good. Oh, it's all good, man. Yeah, it was great to talk with you. And yeah, I'll see you in the Discord.
Absolutely, man. Hey guys, thank you. Smash the like on your way out of here, and we'll back tomorrow for Web3 breakfast at 9 a.m. and then another JChains Crypto at 4. See you.